Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, and I'll be getting to why many think calling Elon President Musk is a good thing, checking in with more of the latest and stupid, reading a wild new, genuine page from Lauren Boebert's book, sharing some Christmas pics, and more. But first, let's get started with the guy that runs spyware on his laptop to stop him from going full Beetlejuice on himself when God's watching.
And I was on a text chain last night with Elon and Vivek about Doge, because I'm super excited about that. And I said, guys, these are the necessary things. They don't like spending either. They said, we know this is not you personally, Mr. Speaker, and we got to get through this. So look, everybody understands the necessity. It is not palatable. This is the sausage-making part of legislation that nobody likes, but we're governing.
Fun fact, sausage making is also a banned search on his laptop. Johnson looks like he's the mannequin from a whites-only store that came to life. He's not just on a text chain with a failed presidential candidate and President Musk, he's bragging about it constantly. I don't know what's more alarming, the fact that these guys don't just have him by his ear, they have him by his tiny Johnson, or the fact that the guy who says he doesn't even have a bank account has anything to do with spending. Now, for a deep dive on the presidency power struggle, a special guest returns to the Tommy Campbell Show. Good evening, I'm Tucker Carlson, and tonight I'd like to talk to you about President Musk. Wait, what is that about? People are openly calling the unelected billionaire this, and Donald Trump really doesn't like it. Oh, we already had an African-American president. His name was Obama. Stop saying Elon is running the country. The truth is, if we wanted to be stuck with a strange Musk, we just buy one of Donald Trump's dump fragrances. I lean towards the Ivanka bottle, at least I have something moderately attractive to look at when I'm in the bathroom at 3 a.m. examining the wounds I got from the demon in my bed that definitely wasn't the dogs I sleep with. Simmer down, Ted. I'm not talking about Heidi. President Musk posted the bill on Twitter and showed how much his involvement reduced it. And he likes reducing. He removed rain sensors from his cars to save a few dollars and have vehicles go full wiper on dry days and stand still in a monsoon. Musk demanded not only that the legislation be rejected, but that Republicans actually force a shutdown and boycott the passage of any legislation until Trump's inauguration. Or as Mike Lindell says,
this is all on God's timing. He goes, just because it's the January 20th inauguration, the way this all plays out is on God's timing and it's God's will, whatever that is.
Bernie Sanders posted, Elon Musk became $200 billion richer since Trump was elected. Objected. Are Republicans beholden to the American people or President Musk? This is oligarchy at work. When it didn't pass, Musk cried MAGA tears on Twitter that only 2 Democrats voted for the bill, conveniently leaving out the fact that 38 Republicans voted against the bill. The same bill he championed that took millions away from cancer kids. Wait, isn't that Eric Trump's job? What is that about? Donald Trump wants the focus to be on him. He wants everyone to see him as the star, unless it's on the VHS tape that Putin keeps under lock and key in a yellow drawer to symbolize the tape's theme. Although he detests dogs nearly as much as Kristi Noem, being the top dog is the most important thing to Donald Trump, even more than golf and daughter dating fantasies. Totally normal stuff. MAGA now wants Elon Musk to be House Speaker, even though he's more of a House loser with a string of public breakups. And now elected officials, including spork-footed Georgia Gremlin Marjorie Taylor Dog the Drone Hunter Green, get down you drones, are posting their support. Could this even happen in America, the country we discovered? Donald Trump wants to be the guy running the show, or at least perceived that he is. And right now, he's not. And that's a problem. If you continue to push the President Musk narrative, which is close to the truth will hurt President-elect Trump's ego. And that is something he cannot handle. His ego is as fragile as Don Jr.'s septum. Forbes assessed Donald Trump's net worth at $5.5 billion. With most of that coming from his money-losing media company, DJT, with a stock that tumbles as much as Mitch McConnell. Oh, watch out for the beef dip. President Musk's estimated worth was $263 billion until it Chinese spy ballooned to $458 billion, mostly because he paid the largest figure in decades to get someone elected. And with this much cash pumped into Diaper Don's turd tank, there is no way his companies will not benefit from Trump's second term, and his shareholders know that. This is the truth. Trump has no choice but to kiss the ring. But if you are a liberal or a rhino, and you would like to drive a wedge between Donald Trump and President Musk, the best way to do that is to push the President Musk moniker. Because elevating Space Karen will cause his relationship with Diaper Don to implode, and the less billionaire influence over the country, the better. And this entire thing will leave the two with so much eggnog on their faces, they'll be looking like the final scene of a Peter North film. Whatever that means. I have writers, some of them from Russia. Some things get lost in translation, but I don't care. I make millions and pose in new fishing gear because I'm a man of the people that is truly dumbfounded by the coin-operated shopping carts in grocery stores when I'm there to pick up a dozen apples from the refrigerator. Merry Christmas.
Post today and see how the Marines are coming out for Pete, hearing what it was like as a platoon leader. And those are the types of things that should let people know who they're voting for or not voting for. And I just think we should keep
they're going to get through flying colors. There is not one pick that I'm concerned about at this moment. I'll be honest with you. I'm talking about the smear campaigns that these poor individuals have to go through, and it's unfair. But they are well ready to serve, and they're going to follow through with President Trump's mandate when they get confirmed, not if.
Well, Habba-Dabba-Doo also said Matt Gaetz was a shoo-in, and now he's shaking in his boots, waiting for the dirt to drop on him and his OAN gig to get rolling. Hegseth kept a bar in his office at Fox, like full Don Draper here, but insists he didn't drink on the job and has vowed to quit drinking if he gets the defense secretary gig. That's like telling your fiance you'll stop cheating if you get married. Till then, it's rub and tugs and Ashley Madison, but if we tie the knot, I'll be so good to you, baby. Just me and you. I make this show 100% on my own thanks to you. If you love what I do, drop me a super thanks, consider leaving me a PayPal tip, or hit the join button to support what I do here. Since 2022, I've been reading genuine pages from Lauren Boebert's book. This is a fan favorite segment that I work back in once in a while by popular demand. So let's get back to it. The tub of warm coleslaw had sobered us up just enough to maybe make it home to the boys in time for Christmas morning. The snow had built up, and there wasn't much way I could push the F-150 out with a pair of clear heels and one hand holding a hamster. It was rare, to say the least. But my husband, Jason with a Y, decided to put his wife behind the wheel while he gave it all, ramming from behind, trying to get things moving with his tired pile of junk. "Come inside!" I shouted out the window as the truck broke free from Jack Frost's grip. Jason hopped on the bed, and I slammed the pedal on the right, spinning us out of the parking lot. Before things got too messy, I tossed Mountain Dew on the air freshener so he could absorb the fun fumes while getting a clear view of Jason tumbling in the back of the truck. Pro tip, ladies, don't let anyone tell you that chewing a pine cone is a form of birth control. Also, couples therapy is a ripoff. You just need to get your cowboy boot wearing drunk husband in the cargo box for a bit of a smash. I haven't laughed this hard since my manager at McDonald's asked me if I wash my hands, or when Ted Cruz took off his pants. All this laughter had the cab hot and humid with my breath that was a mix of Coors, cabbage, and Newports, so I had to get some real air. I leaned back to open the truck's slider window, and that's when I noticed my husband was gone. I mean, he has left so many times without warning, but it's usually when I'm pregnant or if I left some cash laying around. The thing is, I still have the damp envelope of money from Lady Buns, and I haven't had a baby since I found out the pinecone thing was a hoax and got some stuff from the vending machine at the roller rink. I decided to circle back and catch Jason before he slipped into a bar or into an alley with a drifter again. And when I say alley, I don't mean the kind you bowl at, like the one where I met him when I was already too old for Matt Gaetz. No, I mean the place behind the establishments where you can do whatever you want as long as it's after nightfall and behind a dumpster. This is the code of the street that I learned from what may appear to be just another hobo in his cardboard playhouse, but he was one of my many real educationers. It was like a fairy tale. If you're looking for some Christmas recommendations that slip a little away from the norms, years back the band America released this album with covers and originals. It has a really great America sound. I love the originals, and I love putting it on every year. If you have kids, Raffi's Christmas is fantastic. If you want a bit of soul, nothing beats Ray Charles, That Spirit of Christmas. The title track from that album was played by Clark Griswold in his attic in Christmas Vacation, and only covers of it were available until now. So grab that song on your streaming services, where you will also find my stand-up comedy. I love it when MAGA says, I'm not a comedian, I'm an open micer. When I had 2.82 million streams last year, 180,000 listeners across 161 countries. As for Christmas films, I just go by, like, what's worthy of a rewatch? Like, does it stand? Can you rewatch it every year? And I can with Christmas Vacation, Elf, Scrooged, Jingle All the Way, Die Hard, and A Muppet Christmas Carol. Those are my top films. And after watching A Muppet Christmas Carol with my son this year, I showed him this. And he was kind of impressed. If you're looking for something to binge on, the best Christmas show of all time, hands down, is the Netflix original series from Norway, Home for Christmas. 2 quick, like 6-episode seasons. You're smart enough to read, so please watch it in Norwegian with subtitles so you get the best acting, performance, and jokes. I just love this show. It has everything, and it's definitely not for kids, which means it's really good. President-elect Trump's ego, and that is not something he can handle. It is as fragile as Don Jr.'s septum. Pro tip, ladies, don't let anyone tell you that chewing a pine cone is a form of birth control. Losing media company GJT with a stock that tumbles as much as Mitch McConnell. Oh, there's a beef dip here. What am I going to do? All this laughter had the cab hot and humid with my breath. There was a mix of Coors, cabbage, and Newports. Tape that Putin keeps under lock and key. Or when Ted Cruz took off his pants. The better, and this entire thing will leave the two with so much eggnog on their faces, they'll be looking like the final scene of a Peter North film. Whatever that means. The Tommy Campbell Show is the best political comedy show on YouTube, and I hope you subscribe.